Disclaimer. This ebook has been written for information purposes only. Every effort has been made to make this ebook as complete and accurate as possible. However, there may be mistakes in typography or content. Also, this ebook provides information only up to the publishing date. Therefore, this ebook should be used as a guide, not as the ultimate source. The purpose of this ebook is to educate. The author and the publisher does not warrant that the information contained in this ebook is fully complete and shall not be responsible for any errors or omissions. The author and publisher shall have neither liability nor responsibility to any person or entity with respect to any loss or damage caused or alleged to be caused directly or indirectly by this ebook. Table of Contents. Introduction. 5 Chapter 1 Define Success on Your Own Terms. 7 Chapter 2 Motivation Key Number 1, Setting Realistic Goals. 11 Chapter 3 Motivation Key Number 2, Occasionally Check Your Progress. 14 Chapter 4 Motivation Key Number 3, Surround Yourself with the Right People. 17 Chapter 5 Motivation Key Number 4, Be in the Right Place at the Right Time. 22 Chapter 6 Motivation Key Number 5, Don't Be Afraid to Fail. 25 Chapter 7 Motivation Key Number 6, Avoid Burning Out by Finding the Right Work-Life Balance. 30 Conclusion. 37. Introduction. Many of the greatest minds of any generation have spent all the time they have left after their achievements desperately pursuing the keys to success. Having achieved such great things, they now sought to share the secret of their successes with the world. After reviewing and refuting many theories in this regard, many have given up without ever truly finding an answer. Others have been left to believe that the secret to success lies with the cards we are dealt or the opportunities we are given. Still, others are of the view that genetics will determine how successful one becomes. But the truth is that none of us were born to be ordinary, and people of similar upbringings often do enjoy the same level of success. Which happy parents look down at their newborn child and imagines them being just average or just doing enough to get by? None in their right minds, of course. We all imagine the great things our children will do, say, and accomplish from before they are conceived. And when those children are born, we do all that we can to give them the best possible start to what we hope will be a successful life. Some of these children will be born to parents with great wealth, while others will have to struggle with extremely limited financial resources. But no one knows for sure which of them will become successful. So what really is the key to success? Motivation. Motivation is the one thing that distinguishes the great minds of our world from people who simply aim to get by. How many times have you heard about successful individuals crazily going without food, rest or relaxation because they are just too focused on their aspirations to stop for the mundane activities of life? Or how many times have you heard about people who were fed up with their lot in life and then worked tirelessly to become successful? These kinds of individuals are the type that change the world with new inventions, ingenious business ideas, or earth-shattering theories. These are the individuals we describe as successful: industry leaders, world-renowned scientists, tech gurus, business masterminds, and the list goes on. How can you be successful? You too need to be that intrinsically motivated as well. Motivation is a very delicate achievement. It requires optimizing our environment, minds, and bodies in order to achieve the best possible outcomes. This book will help you unlock your true potential by showing you the keys to becoming so motivated that reaching your goals will seem like the only logical result of your actions. Chapter 1 Define Success on Your Own Terms. Your true success in life begins only when you make the commitment to become excellent at what you do. Brian Tracy. Success comes from knowing that you did your best to become the best that you are capable of becoming. John Wooden. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. Steve Jobs. Success, like happiness, is an individual pursuit. For years, we have been taught that success is all about making a lot of money. That is also what we have inadvertently taught our children, and in turn, they too will pass on this folly to their children. You might never have heard your parents speak about success, but isn't it true that they often encouraged you to become a lawyer or doctor, long before you were old enough to know what you were good at. Why do you think this is the case? The prominence associated with these jobs may only be part of the reasons we subtly push our children in that direction. But for the most part, it is the money that they find attractive. Even if they or their children are accomplished within their respective areas of expertise but are struggling financially, they find it hard to regard this as success. The result of this kind of narrow-minded thinking is a society of people who are unhappy, depressed or underachieving because they are stuck in a career they hate, or miserable because they can never live up to the unrealistic expectations set for and are being forcefully imposed upon them. Just think about all the wealthy celebrities you know that have committed suicide or are fighting hard to recover from a drug addiction. While being stable or even well off financially is often the result of much diligence and hard work, it is not the only true measure of success. There is no real satisfaction from being rich if you do not truly enjoy what you do. If you are struggling to make ends meet, however, it is only natural to want a better life for yourself and your children. I would never encourage you to stop pushing yourself to earn enough to care for the needs of your family. But when your happiness and even the affection you have for your children is hinged solely on wealth or material possessions, I have to draw the line. That being said, what really makes a person successful? Here is what some of the greatest minds of this century have to say on the matter. Success is a personal standard, reaching for the highest that is in us, becoming all that we can be. Zig Ziglar. However difficult life may seem, there is always something you can do and succeed at. Stephen Hawking. The starting point of all achievement is desire. Napoleon Hill. As you can see, each one has their own opinions about the boundaries within which we define success. That is because success means totally different things to different people. In fact, even those with great wealth may not see themselves as successful. There is, however, one common theme in these sayings. Success is no accident. Success achieved as a result of working hard at whatever you do. It is impossible to become successful by just doing enough to get by. Anyone can be average. If your aim is to be successful, you must have such a burning desire to be first, to do more or even to do better, that it pains you stop working towards these goals. Your aspirations should greet you every morning and daintily waltz about in your dreams every night. And no matter what obstacle presents itself, you will always keep telling yourself that you can't stop and you won't stop. That kind of burning desire is what I call motivation. Motivation is the force that compels us to strive for success, helps us to unlock the full potential of our minds, and keeps us continually focused on and committed to attaining our goals. Motivation is thus the universal key to success. It is impossible to have this kind of drive if you do not truly love what you do and if you are not confident enough to think you are able to do it well. That is why it is so crucial for you to define success on your own terms. Which achievement do you think is worth pursuing? Which accomplishment do you yearn to share with your children and grandchildren? That is the aspiration that will make you a success, and you should never stop trying to make these dreams a reality. Realism is a very important aspect of being motivated to succeed. The next chapter is designed to help you stay motivated by teaching you to set realistic goals. Chapter 2 Motivation Key Number 1. Setting realistic goals. A goal by definition is the end result of achieving your objectives. Some people hope to achieve success by becoming the first to walk on unexplored planets, others aspire to fly aircraft that have not yet been invented, and still, others hope to become billionaires overnight. Without the requisite years of training or skills, these goals may not be possible and thus lack the realism I encourage. When we hinge our success, and by extension our happiness, on achieving goals that may always be out of our reach for whatever reason, what kind of enjoyment will we find in life when we fail to achieve them? Bear in mind, however, that there is a huge difference between setting realistic goals and limiting yourself. That is why my encouragement to you is to set goals that are SMART and thus realistic. The acronym SMART means that our goals will be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic and time-bound. When we employ this kind of framework to analyze our goals, we are less likely to end up disappointed, and it will be easier for us to stay motivated to work towards this goal. If your aim is to simply invent something great, sometime in the course of your life, that goal would neither be specific, measurable, achievable, or time-bound. Working towards a goal that is indeterminate will lead you in circles and be very discouraging. If your goals are to be considered realistic, they must meet up to the requirements of all the other aspects of your SMART analysis. So even if you hope to achieve great things by the time you are 23 but have not really set a specific means to achieve this goal, you will not be very motivated to get much done. SMART objectives ensure that you direct your efforts in the right direction and do not waste time trying to reinvent the wheel or striking the air. Working towards something that is impossible for whatever reason will leave us too discouraged to achieve much else. But this is a very touchy topic for me because men like the great Steve Jobs, Ronald Wayne, and Steve Wozniak did indeed achieve what was thought impossible by their contemporaries when they invented Apple Inc. So where does one draw the line between realistic and ludicrous? Ask yourself these questions. Do I have the skills needed to achieve this goal? If not, how long will it take me to learn this skill? Do I have the requisite time and energy to achieve this goal? How much of my financial resources will I need to accomplish this goal? Is accomplishing this goal going to have a positive impact on those around me? Do I have the discipline required to achieve this goal? Am I willing to suffer the consequences of trying to achieve this goal? Are my family and friends going to support my decision to pursue this goal? Will I truly think of myself as successful if I achieve this goal? What will I do if I do not succeed on the first try? Answering these questions will help you determine whether you have the drive to accomplish the goals you have in mind. These questions are not to discourage you but to help you prepare yourself to become successful. The chapters that follow are designed to help you keep on track and stay motivated. Chapter 3 Motivation Key Number 2. Occasionally check your progress. The very definition of a goal implies that it must not only be specific and realistic, but also measurable. When it is difficult to measure the progress you have made in achieving a specific goal, it is highly unlikely that you will be very motivated to keep pushing yourself to meet that goal. Just think about it. If your goal is to get to work on time tomorrow, you will constantly check the time at each stage in the journey. If you notice that you are running behind time, you will automatically start driving or walking faster because you know exactly how much time is needed to meet your goal of being on time. If that goal was a little less defined, for instance, if you decided that, someday, you wanted to be famous, how would we know when to start speeding up? Motivation, that intrinsic desire to attain your goal, is what will ensure that you will do anything to achieve your goal. This could require that you speed up, slow down, or even change course altogether. But motivation is a very fragile occurrence. You constantly need to fan the flames of desire in order to keep yourself motivated. That is why it is so important for you to avoid the urge to check your progress too often. Checking your progress only occasionally is one of the best ways to develop a realistic view of your progress. After all, Rome was not built in a day. This is especially so for long-term goals. To help you get the point, let us revisit the illustration of your goal of getting to work on time tomorrow. If you were driving down a busy freeway and nervously checked the time every 60 seconds, would that help you get to work any faster? I highly doubt it. There will always be factors or obstacles outside of your control like the weather or traffic. Constantly checking the time will not remove these obstacles. At that rate, you may never reach your destination because you are too distracted by the time and may very well end up in an accident. While it is good to evaluate your progress in order to determine whether your current approach is leading you to a successful outcome, doing so too often will be both distracting and disappointing. If you have any children, you will know exactly how soon is too soon and how often is too often. Children are not very good at delayed gratification. If you tell them you will play with them soon, you can expect them to return every few minutes to ask when that will be. If they learn that milk will help them to grow big and strong, they will soon begin to gulp down as much as they can and check their height as often as possible. Often, they end up very disappointed because progress ends up being much slower than they expected. The same can happen to you. Checking your progress too often is one of the easiest ways to demotivate yourself. You will begin to imagine your progress to be much slower than it actually is, or may condemn yourself as not really making any progress at all. This is especially so because you will make more progress on some days than others. How often is too often is a question that only you can answer. The nature of your goals and the duration of the time needed to achieve them will help you make this decision. If your aim is to lose 5 pounds in 30 days, it is only natural that you would want to weigh yourself daily. But if your goal was to lose 100 pounds over the next 2 years, monthly weigh-ins would be more beneficial. It is generally encouraged that you check your progress a little less frequently for longer-term goals than you would for those you hope to achieve in a shorter period of time. This does not mean you should not revisit your strategy to achieving your goals often. In fact, I strongly encourage you to review your strategy as often as possible. This is another practical way to keep yourself motivated because you will constantly be thinking about achieving your goals and it will become harder to be distracted by all the noise around you. Our associates are often one of the biggest distractions. Your associates can either weight you down or push you forward and closer towards your dreams. The next chapter focuses on how to surround yourself with the right people who will help to motivate you towards success. Chapter 4 Motivation Key Number 3. Surround yourself with the right people. Surround yourself with the right people, and realize your own worth. Lucy Hale. Who you spend time with is who you become. Change your life by consciously choosing to surround yourself with people with higher standards. Tony Robbins. Surround yourself with people who see the greatness within you. Unknown. Parents often spend an exorbitant amount of time warning their children about bad associates. I was no exception. To this day I can remember how my parents lectured me about the friends I kept, forbid me to visit the homes of certain individuals and carefully monitored my whereabouts. Being the rebel I was, I often thought this as overly restrictive and a huge inconvenience. Now, having grown up to see the life that some of these individuals now lead, I am truly grateful for their insight and guidance. But, we are all adults here and are free to do as we please. You might even reason that you are your own person and make your own decisions. But I strongly encourage you to consider your associates wisely for the following reasons. Your associates influence the way you think. Your associates influence the way you are viewed. How your associates influence the way you think. Everyone, and I mean everyone you regularly associate with, will have some influence on your life. This is true whether you are conscious of it or not. As humans, we are constantly trying to make sense of this topsy-turvy world by carefully examining the people around us. In fact, some scientists have been bold enough to put forward the theory that we are basically the average of the 5 people we most regularly associate with. The question now is, who do you want to be? If you choose to associate with people who are content with doing just the basics of life to get by, this notion can easily seep into your mind and affect how intensely you work towards your goals. These people will make you question why you push yourself so hard and whether your goals are even achievable. I am sure you will not find this kind of thought motivating at all. On the other, what about surrounding yourself with people who are constantly pushing themselves to do better? Think about it this way. If you wanted to grow flowers in your garden, would you fill your garden with poison, stop watering it and hide it away from sunlight? That would not produce the kind of results you are looking for. So why would you surround yourself with people who want to poison your mind, so to speak? These may be well-meaning people who genuinely care about you, but they do not understand the fire that burns within you. They have never been as determined to succeed as you are and will never, ever understand what motivates you to keep going. As a result, they hurl pessimistic remarks at your dreams and slowly change the way you feel about achieving your goals. In order to keep yourself motivated, you have to be confident that your goals are achievable, and associates like these will slowly sow doubts in your mind. Even if these individuals do not orally challenge your dreams, the way they live their life will do little to keep you motivated. Their way of life can either positively or negatively reinforce your desire to reach your goal. Constantly seeing them underachieve or procrastinate will dampen the flames that motivate you to keep going. On the other hand, when your close friends are always trying to find new ways to be bigger and better, you too will begin to feel the desire to improve your current performance as well. When your close associates achieve the goals, your own goals will become that much more real to you. And the closer your goals are to your heart, the more motivated you will be to achieve them. How your associates influence the way you are viewed. The world of business that exists today is one that is very closely connected. Your achievements are very closely tied to the achievements of your partners. It is virtually impossible for your business to survive in a vacuum. Your reputation is thus one of your biggest assets. Unfortunately, our reputation is not just a product of our own actions, but also the actions of our associates. If we chose to associate with people who are dishonest or low performers, we too might be viewed in a similar manner. It is only natural to assume that birds of a feather will flock together. Your reputation is your brand, and this is what will attract the investors and customers you will need to make your goals a reality. The wrong associates can permanently damage your good reputation. Associating with the wrong people may very well mean that a great opportunity could easily pass you by. Believe me when I say, there is a lot of truth in the saying that it is very lonely at the top. Achieving your goals of being the first or the best in your field will be a lot more enjoyable when you are surrounded by people who are happy to see you succeed. Associates that refuse to push themselves to do better will easily become jealous of your success and do all they can to demotivate you. To make matters worse, it is usually the people that are dear to our hearts that often succeed is setting us up to fail. That is why I strongly encourage you to be cautious with the people you let share your dreams. Choose the kind of friends that will constantly push you to do better and stay motivated. Associating with the right people will also put you in a position to be at the right place at the right time. The next chapter will expound on how to use this to your advantage. Chapter 5 Motivation Key Number 4. Be in the right place at the right time. As highlighted before, surrounding yourself with the kind of people that will help you stay focused is important, but even if you stand alone, you can reach your goals if you are in the right place at the right time. Finding like-minded people rarely happens when you idle at home alone. You need to put yourself in the ideal locations to find what or who will motivate you to reach your goal. Your aim should always be to optimize your environment in such a way that it will push you closer and closer towards your goals. Accomplishing this may be a lot easier said than done, but it is not impossible. Here are a few options. 1. Trade shows. 2. Training courses related to your goals. 3. Social media. Local trade shows are goldmines. This is so whether you are showcasing your work, seeking out a potential business partner, or looking around for inspiration. Trade shows allow like-minded people to gather and learn from each other. This is the kind of atmosphere that will force to think about what you have or have not accomplished. Imagine seeing someone execute an idea similar to your own. Wouldn't you then have every reason to believe that your own goals are achievable? Learning about the challenge of others in your field is quite likely to motivate you to reach your goals because you will be in a much better position to anticipate and avoid these pitfalls. Knowing that you can easily dodge these obstacles by speaking to individuals in the field will motivate you to keep on going no matter what comes along. As highlighted in the previous chapter, it is always best to be surrounded by people who understand your struggles and want you to succeed. Training courses related to your goals allow you to sharpen your skills and improve on your previous strategy. You can never learn everything there is to know about your field. You cannot aspire to be tomorrow's success with yesterday's knowledge. Keeping up with the latest improvements will give you just the edge you are looking for to stomp out the competition. An improved understanding of the variables that will help you achieve your goals will give you the confidence needed to keep you pushing forward. Training courses are also another way to meet and form relationships with people on the same mission that you are. Making the right connections now will certainly serve to your advantage. Social media seems to be infiltrating just about every aspect of our lives. It should therefore come as no surprise that social media can help you stay motivated to achieve your goals too. Social media is a combination of the benefits of a trade show and training course but does not require you to move a muscle. Social media allows you to keep up with current market developments, learn new skills and develop a relationship with other movers and shakers in the industry. Gone are the days when social media was just about posting pictures and getting likes. It is now one of the most powerful tools to help you be in the right place at the right time, so to speak. The next chapter will focus on the other important key to motivation, avoiding the fear of failure. Chapter 6, Motivation Key Number 5. Don't be afraid to fail. Victory is sweetest when you've known defeat. Malcolm S. Forbes. Life is too short to spend your time avoiding failure. Michael Bloomberg. Be thankful for everything that happens in your life. It's all an experience. Roy T. Bennett. As I have consistently highlighted throughout this book, motivation is the force that will drive your goal-oriented behaviors in the right direction. Without this force, you would have very little desire to want to push through the challenge you will face on the way to success. The fear of failure has, however, crippled many who once were on the path to greatness. This is the kind of fear that will keep you up at night and constantly be in your face throughout the day. Fear is one of the strongest obstacles that will come your way as you traverse the path to success. Being afraid to fail is nothing to be ashamed of and certainly not a sign of weakness. Just look around you. Over 90% of all new entrepreneurial endeavors fail, and of the few that are able to make any progress, only a sparse few can truly regard themselves as successful. And we do not even have to look very far to see the results of failure. This world is filled with pessimists who once strived to be great and did not make it very far. Oftentimes, people end up describing success as a result of chance because so many well-educated and well-intentioned people end up reaping the bitter seeds of failure. But one failure or even several failures does not mean you have failed altogether. You can only fail when you give up on your dreams and stop working towards your goals. There is always an opportunity to improve on your last performance. Success is going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. Winston Churchill. Do not be embarrassed by your failures, learn from them and start again. Richard Branson. Some failures are actually a blessing in disguise. They allow you to see the flaws in design and force you back to the drawing board to make them even better. While instant gratification by nature is quite enjoyable, when you succeed after being knocked off course by failure, you will appreciate your achievement even more. Furthermore, you are not alone. Many of the great success of our generation were so motivated to keep going after they failed, that the end result was unprecedented success. Just think about these examples for a minute. Oprah Winfrey. Oprah is regarded as one of the most influential talk show hosts of all time. In addition, the billionaire is also a famous philanthropist, producer, actress and entrepreneur. One would assume that her success came easily because she lived a charmed life, but this could not be farther from the truth. Having been subjected the ills that came with being the child of an unwed, teenage mother, Oprah also suffered from several incidents of sexual abuse. Still, she pushed herself all the way through university and then delved headfirst into the world of radio and television. Imagine how devastated she was when she was fired from her very first job because her superiors felt that she was not fit for television. Did she quit? What kept her going? She was motivated to succeed. Her internal desire to be a radio and television personality worth noticing, even though this field had been dominated by white males, is what kept her going through this very dark time in her career. And as they say, the rest is history. Walt Disney. No 20th century childhood would be the same without the creations of Walt Disney. How could we ever overlook the achievements of a man whose ideas have influenced the minds of an entire generation? But he too experienced significant setbacks on the way to success. He managed several businesses which went belly up and was fired from a newspaper editor job because his superiors felt he lacked imagination and had no good ideas. He kept on pushing, and just look at all he has achieved. Michael Jordan, Michael himself, has been quoted as saying, "I have failed over and over again in this life, and that is why I succeed." Although he is renowned as one of the greatest basketball players of all times, he did not even last very long on his high school basketball team. He wanted to play basketball so bad that he went home the day he was cut from the team and wept. Did he stop playing? Did he give up on his dreams? I think you know the answer. Of course he didn't. He pushed and pushed until he achieved in a few years more than most men ever dream of achieving in a lifetime. But I learned a very valuable lesson from Michael even after he became a success. He missed over 900 shots throughout his professional career. The lesson we can appreciate from this is that success is not the absence of failure. Even if we are intrinsically motivated enough to achieve great things, we will still have good days and bad days. Don't let your temporary setbacks distract you from the big picture. Steve Jobs. The accomplishments of the late Steve Jobs will live on for many years to come. He will forever be remembered as the founder of Apple Inc., one of the most successful and innovative tech companies in the world. His revolutionary inventions have remained unmatched because they are unlike anything we are used to. But just imagine how he must have felt when he was kicked out of the very company he founded. Did this stop him? Not at all. Steve fought tooth and nail back to the top. There is nothing that can keep you down if you are motivated to remain at the top and ready to put in the work. Steve's example also teaches us about the importance of maintaining a good work-life balance. Steve almost lost his family and friends in the pursuit of success, and he grew to regret his choices. Thankfully, he had some time to make amends. The next chapter will help you to avoid making the same mistakes he did and find the right work balance. Chapter 7, Motivation Key Number 6. Avoid burning out by finding the right work-life balance. Take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live. Jim Rohn. In my judgment, physical fitness is basic to all forms of excellence and to a strong, confident nation. Robert Kennedy. I am sure you have heard the saying, "You cannot pour from an empty cup." This is why you need to learn to take care of yourself. Keeping yourself motivated is an inside job. You might do an excellent job at creating the right environment and getting the requisite resources to succeed, but if you are not taking care of yourself, you will not be able to stay motivated for very long. It is hard to keep pushing yourself to do more when your body is already falling apart under the pressure. Achieving success at the expense of your health is not a very wise idea. It is equally unwise to neglect your family and friends in the process. While it is true that sacrifices will need to be made, your health and relationships should not be one of them. In short, it will be much easier to motivate a healthy mind and body. Pay careful attention to these 5 areas that are often neglected in the pursuit of success. Nutrition. How, when and what we eat, has a huge bearing on how well our bodies will perform under pressure. It is easy to begin to neglect your diet when you are focusing all your time, energy and resources on becoming successful. Purchasing cheap junk food might be convenient now, but you are not looking ahead to the disaster coming your way. A large percentage of the illnesses we face are in fact nutritional disorders that could have been prevented if we paid more attention to our diets. Nutritious food helps our bodies to grow, gives us energy and helps our bodies to repair themselves. In order for our bodies to function optimally and not burn out, we will need to consume the recommended amount of each nutrient. But there is no need to become jittery about your diet and make any rash decisions. Here are a few suggestions to make eating well a lot easier. Avoid foods that are high in fat, salt and sugar. Eat more fresh fruits and vegetables and avoid overly processed foods. Read food labels before you consume the item. Include food from each food group in each of your meals. Drink more water and less carbonated beverages. Don't skip meals. Replace your snacks with healthy options like fresh fruits and nuts. Never try to replace meals with dietary supplements. Rest. The average human being needs about 7 to 9 hours of rest each day. Getting sufficient sleep is one of the most essential aspects of finding the right work-life balance. Unfortunately, with the demands of earning a living, caring for your family and pushing yourself to meet your goals, sacrificing sleep might seem like the only logical solution to getting everything done. In fact, some people even reason that sleepless nights are synonymous with success. Once again, sacrifices will need to be made to reach your goals, but sleep should not be one of them. Not getting enough sleep will mean that your body will not get enough time to repair and charge itself up. We are basically like dead batteries when we do not get enough sleep. This means that our minds will not be able to work optimally if we are sleep deprived. A lack of sleep has even been linked to depression. How can you motivate a mind that drained? Get enough rest and your mind will be ready to conceive your success. Exercise. There are very few people in this world that enjoy exercise. Thankfully, that number is steadily increasing as more and more people are beginning to realize the benefits of doing so. Constantly feeling fatigued and achy is a sign that you may need to get more exercise. One of the main reasons why people dread exercise is they fear it might be too hard. They assume that they have to start with the difficult things and it will just gradually get worse. That is really not how it works, nor is it what is recommended. If you are new to working out, you will need to start small at first and gradually work your way up, so to speak. You may even hurt yourself by pushing to do too much, too soon. It is also best to vary your workout. Monotony will only make this task a lot harder than it has to be. Find what works for you and engage your mind by mixing up your routine. You would be surprised how much good just exercising for a few minutes each day will do. In fact, here are a few benefits of getting sufficient exercise. Regular exercise helps to strengthen your bones. People who exercise often sleep better at nights. The condition of your skin will improve as you sweat and excrete waste from your pores. You will be better able to manage your weight. Exercise also reduces the risk of suffering from certain ailments like diabetes and heart disease. You often feel better after you exercise because working out releases the hormones that will improve your mood. Regular exercise can reduce stress. Family. Your family is your strength. The stronger the relationships in your family unit, the happier you will be. When you lovingly make time for your family despite your endeavors to be great, they will in turn lovingly support your hopes and dreams. You cannot surround yourself with the right people if you keep pushing away the only group of people who are determined to watch you succeed. Making time for the ones you love should always be a priority. This is especially so if children are involved. A child will not understand that you are busy now because you are trying to build a better future for them. They only think about the here and now. And the fact that right now you are not here for them can have serious implications on the kind of person they will become. Money cannot buy you happiness, and all the successful accolades in the world will not make your children love you anymore. Motivation can soon turn into selfishness if you do not take the time to care for the ones who are entitled to your time. Plus, when you have the loving support of your family, you will have the kind of support you need to push yourself to achieving your goals. Recreation. People who cannot find time for recreation are obliged sooner or later to find time for illness. John Wanamaker. Believe it or not, recreation plays a very important role in your success. While it is true that goofing off when you should be working on achieving your goals is a bad idea, recreation can be quite beneficial. Taking the time to have a laugh, smell a rose, or even let your hair down may be just what you need to keep motivated. A life without recreation will not be very enjoyable. And a miserable, depressed mind is one that cannot focus on achieving anything. If you push yourself too hard and do not take some time to enjoy life, you will burn out quite easily. Take some time to enjoy the fruits of your labor with the ones you love. You will be pleasantly surprised to see how these simple ways to practice better self-care can make a huge difference in your life. How happy will you be when you achieve your goals when you have lost your health and loved ones in the progress? Many of the greatest minds have made that mistake and have publicly declared how much they regret that choice. Being motivated to achieve your goals should not come at such a high personal cost to you. How could you ever enjoy the fruits of your labor under those conditions? Remember, personal success is not just about achieving your goals, it also involves being happy with the result as well. Conclusion. It was the great Albert Einstein that once said, "Try not to be a person of success, but rather try to become a person of value." Our goals, dreams, and aspirations have a funny way of revealing who we really are. Always remember that your choices affect not only you but also the ones you love. Unfortunately, we will never be able to appreciate the full consequences of our actions until it is too late. Whatever you aspire to do or become, always think about ways you can add value to the lives of the people around you, especially the ones you love. Knowing that you are working towards your goals in order to benefit your closest associates and your family is one of the biggest motivating factors. As highlighted in the introduction of this book, keeping yourself motivated requires that you create the best possible environment for yourself. This involves surrounding yourself with the kind of people who will lovingly support your dreams or help you develop the skills and gain the knowledge you need to achieve them. Keeping yourself motivated also requires that you take the best possible care of yourself. You cannot expect to achieve optimal results if your body is being fed mediocre food and getting insufficient rest. Your thoughts also have a powerful effect on your ability to achieve your dreams. The fear of failure can immobilize you and bring your pursuit of success to a complete halt. This book also helped us to see failure as a friend from which we can learn many lessons. In effect, become so motivated that you condition your mind to keep pushing forward no matter what obstacles come your way. Becoming successful in any field is going to be a lot of hard work. The system we live in wasn't designed to make us successful people. That is why the world is filled with people who are too afraid to pursue their dreams. These are the same people who will seek to discourage you from pursuing your own dreams as well. That is why I cannot emphasize enough that success, like motivation, is an inside job. You have to keep your aspirations in front of you at all times and constantly revise your strategy in order to reach your goals. Once you are motivated to pursue a goal, you will never be satisfied until you accomplish it. That insatiable desire for success is what will propel you to move forward. But this desire will only come about if you learn to define success on your own terms. Always remember that none of us were born to be ordinary.